Boxing truth here. Miguel Cotto and Rock Nation are absolutely desperate for that Canelo rematch. They need that rematch. That's pretty much the only fight out there for Miguel Cotto to cover his base pay salary, the guarantee salary Rock Nation has given him for the remainder of his contract, whatever fights he has left for Rock Nation. Miguel Cotto plans to fight at least once more in 2017 if all goes well in this assignment against James Kirkland. And Rock Nation, I feel, has got to be hoping Cotto fights one more time and retires, because if they can't get that Canelo rematch, who else is out there for Miguel Cotto? Since the fight with Marquez is very difficult to make because Marquez is very selective of who he fights, and he's very scared of physical fighters. Wouldn't even fight a Brandon Rios. Wouldn't fight a Pervanikov. You really think he's going to fight Miguel Cotto north of 147 pounds? I think not. So where is the direction of Miguel Cotto's career? He's not going to fight Manny Pacquiao since they have the same trainer. The fight's not going to happen. Pacquiao whips Miguel Cotto's ass again in a rematch anyways. Cotto is very delusional, full of himself. He used to be a Cotto fan back in his earlier days. Loved his style early in his career. Gave us some exciting fights. And then completely turned into a diva, and now he talks in third person all the time. Just a completely changed person compared to his earlier days. Seemed to be much more humble. Now he's just a guy that you just can't wait till he retires. Really don't have much interest in Miguel Cotto's career. The fight against Kirkland is decent. It'll be an action fight. I wish it wasn't a pay-per-view, but because of the economic demands of Miguel Cotto's purse, it's a necessary evil. And Rock Nation is hoping they can at least break even on this event. But they're most likely going to lose millions of dollars, since this is most likely going to be a very highly streamed fight, as a lot of people just don't see it's worthy to pay over $50 for it. But the rematch with Canelo is not necessary. Cotto feels more clarity is needed for the rematch, and he's willing to give Canelo the opportunity to clear what happened in the first fight. But clear what happened? Clear the ass whipping that Canelo gave you, Miguel? Because that's what happened in the first fight. Cleanly beat you, bro. Landed the hardest shots throughout the whole fight. Outskilled you. Out-countered you. Whooped you in a lot of the rounds. Busted your face up. Hurt you in the last round as well. I was surprised Canelo couldn't knock you out. But Canelo's a much more confident fighter now. He showed a little too much respect for you in the first fight. It wouldn't happen in the rematch, as Canelo would definitely dispatch you much sooner, much earlier, and knock you out like he should have did in the first fight. I'm not interested in the Canelo rematch. It's not needed. It was a clear, definitive victory for Canelo Alvarez. But what strikes me as a little odd is why the rematch didn't happen between Cotto and Canelo, considering it's the last pay-per-view that actually did very good numbers, a reported over 900K in pay-per-view buys. A lot of revenue was made in the fight. And now with Canelo getting the victory over Cotto, getting that signature win, and continue to build his platform, his brand, he will now be the A side in the fight. But of course, Miguel Cotto is very hard to negotiate with. And the negotiations first time around didn't go so smoothly between Golden Boy and Rock Nation. Some disagreements over the money. After Miguel Cotto vacated his title, it absolutely changed the split between the two fighters. And from what I read, Golden Boy was in litigation with Rock Nation because of what went down with the WC title situation. Well, Miguel ended up paying a step-aside fee of a significant sum to Golovkin at the time, just to vacate his belt to avoid paying a really expensive sanctioning fee, over 250K, I believe. But it does strike me as odd as why the rematch didn't happen. Of course, there was difficult negotiations between both of the fighters' parties. The bad taste that left in Oscar's mouth what went down in negotiations for the first fight, especially when Miguel Cotto vacated his WC middleweight strap. But you would think Golden Boy would pursue the rematch, considering they would get more favorable terms. There will be the A side in the fight, and also it's a good fight for Canelo. Miguel Cotto will never beat Canelo Alvarez. Just not big enough, not strong enough, and not a good enough boxer to beat Canelo Alvarez. But this fight with Kirkland, it'll be an action fight. And Wolf adds some intrigue to the fight because of her success with Kirkland, of working with him throughout his career, but almost 2 years of inactivity coming into the fight, getting iced in his last bout by Canelo. Kirkland did. Just what exactly does he have left? I don't think much. Looks like he's over 180 pounds. He's going to have to really struggle to make the weight. A catch weight of 153 pounds to further drain this guy who really has a hard time making the junior middleweight limit. Now he has to go a pound under. But damn, Miguel, if you need a catch weight to beat James Kirkland, you really do need to hang up the gloves, bro. I'm kind of rooting for Kirkland to whip you because there's nothing else out there for you in boxing. You don't need to fight anymore. Canelo don't need to give you a rematch, even though it's a good fight for him. But I'd rather see him fight other fighters. I'd rather see him fight Chavez Jr. And of course, I'd rather see him fight Gennady Golovkin. Just go away, Miguel. Take this fight with Kirkland. Take that payday that Rock Nation owes you. And call it a career. Because Boxing Truth is tired of you. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.